Yo, what's up? I am Infamous, and I am going to talk about longevity, expectations, and what people think about artistry today, right? So, yeah, I am probably like a lot of you guys. I kind of dig deeper into things than I probably should when it comes to artistry and music and all of that. And I think maybe sometimes the expectations are set a little high. Perfect case would be Eminem's new album, right? Everybody is mixed reviews on that album and what they think about what that album's going to be like. And I will just tell you from my own perspective, I got the album, I started to listen to it, and I instantly didn't like it. I don't know why. I'm a big Eminem fan. I've had all his records. Probably my favorite is the Marshall Mathers LP, and then Recovery is really dope to me, even though a lot of people gave him a lot of shit for it being kind of more, commercial or whatever you want to have it. But I didn't really like it, but I gave it enough tries for me to actually let it kind of grow. And instead of I have this bad habit of when I get something new, a new record or something, right, I'll instantly go to either a record that I know, this song has a feature on it that I know that person, so I'm going to go check that, deal out, when Alexander King is on certain records of some of my friends, I'll check his record out, or Struggle, I'll check his records out first, or, anybody that I really fuck with in the music industry, I kind of just tend to go to those things first. And for me, I went to a lot of the pop records on that album first, just because I didn't know what the hell to expect, right? I will say there was some stuff in there that I wasn't expecting on the new Eminem album, right? But after listening to it front to back, that's when things kind of started to sink in, because you can kind of hear his frustration with the music industry, and I think a lot of us have that same kind of frustration, and the frustration is us as artists always have this expectation, and I know I do it to myself, right, where I want to top the last thing that I did every single time. And sometimes we'll spend, hours and hours and hours, days, trying to make this perfect thing, right? And always surpass whatever you've done in the past. And what I kind of came to realize on that is, I personally, looking back on it, I think I would rather have maybe not such a top-notch verse or hook from one of my favorite artists than having nothing from my favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather have a B-side verse or song, right, from an artist that I have bought multiple albums from, than not having any kind of music from them at all. I mean, you can sense that he kind of has a frustration in this, and when I kind of went back and listened to it from that perspective, the album ended up being really great in that sense, right? I liked a lot of things he did in that, the Cranberries deal, the last 3 songs on that album was really great, kind of solidified everything. The Ed Sheeran track is awesome. Not such a big fan of the patterns. I think he's bored with that stuff. I don't know. I mean, for me, he's always been really dope, and being able to convey how he kind of puts things out and having that energy and that emotion. But I think sometimes when you chop words or verses in half like that, you kind of lose some of the soul to the record. But that's just my opinion. I still liked it. It's not like I'm never gonna hate on what he does, because he's by far one of the best rappers that's ever done it. He's sold way more fucking albums than I've ever fucking sold, you know what I'm saying? And I am by no means a hater. I just, I think I kind of went into it with a different expectation, and it's kind of weird because the way it was promoted was like no expectation should have been set really, because nothing was out other than the Beyonce track. But that got me kind of questioning things, right? Like, what are your thoughts on this subject? Would you rather have one of your top artists, right, just say, fuck it, I'm done with your expectations, and just kind of quit? Or would you rather that artist just kind of put out whatever they want to put out, whatever they're feeling, and just kind of let it be what it is? Because I have friends that do both, right? I'm more the perfectionistic type person where I will work on a record and for a long period of time, especially maybe not necessarily like mixtape style, but like on my own personal like albums that I'm going to put out and I invest a lot of time in. I will try and make sure that like every single word is like perfect and said exactly the way I want it. Meanwhile, I've got some friends in this industry that will just make a record on the spot and they just fly with it, even if it's not even the best thing they've ever put out. They just say, hey, that's what I was feeling. And I run off emotion too, don't get me wrong. Like, I can't even make songs now without feeling something. Like, before I used to be able to just write whatever. I'm finding myself writing less now. I'm kind of doing more of a freestyle, and then I kind of piece it all together to make a record. But I'm interested in what y'all think, man. Do you think somebody should just fade out if not where you expect it to be? Or would you rather the artist just kind of keep putting out material? For me, I would rather them just keep putting out material. Head PE is one of my favorite bands. Sometimes they're dead on, sometimes they're not. Most times they're genius. That's really what it is. I mean, so that's my question for y'all this week. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment, whatever. Also, please hit subscribe if you like the video. If you don't like the video, don't worry, I'm gonna come and find you. I'm kidding. But you can support me on my Patreon. $1, instant download, whatever you want. All my tracks from here on out, right? You can get my music, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, you name it. It's findable, right? All right? I'm infamous. Y'all stay truckerish. Appreciate y'all.